Hi, I'm Dr. Christina Conolly, and welcome again for our MCPS video series, Waymaking. Our goal is to help families make their way through many of the emotional challenges that we are faced with today. I have with me today Mr. Jeff Donald, who is the Mindfulness Coordinator for MCPS. Jeff is here to talk to us today about his new Mindful Moments video series. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Conolly.
All right, so let's get going. So for our audience, what is mindfulness and how does it support families?
That is such a foundational question, yet a lot of people don't even know what it is. Mindfulness is essentially a science of self-development and self-awareness. Mindfulness provides tools to experience inner balance and self-actualization. That's it. That's all. And what does this have to do with families? This has everything to do with mental and emotional health. This is such an important tool that anyone can use at any time on demand to really kind of bring themselves down if they're feeling like they're spiraling out of control or negative emotions are taking over. It's a great tool to have in the tool belt to just self-regulate, de-escalate. It works.
Right. And I don't know, and not to bring in like some big like psychology terms, but when we talk about mental health and kind of like this mindfulness thing, it literally impacts the physiology of the body, right? And so when you think of the brain, and there is a part of the brain called the amygdala. And so when you get really stressed, an amygdala is like an alarm, like a smoke detector or something telling you there's something wrong. And when you have all of these things going on around you, it's constantly firing, telling you danger, 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 danger. And mindfulness helps it to calm down, right? In terms of getting you back to a place where that self-regulation, getting to a place where you can be calm again, your heart rate goes down and everything. And so that your brain isn't constantly firing that is danger. And when you're dealing with the pandemic, we're all feeling like we're constantly surrounded by danger, right? We can't go outside, we can't do all these things. So I cannot stress enough to our viewers just how important mindfulness is in terms of having a strategy that's going to help us to manage this. So one of the things I wanted to talk about also is, so what are some of the strategies that our families can do to practice mindfulness with their children? So imagine like you got a kid who's like bouncing off the walls and you need a moment to help them to calm down so they can sit still. I know a lot of families out there are like that. So do you mind if you can show us one of the strategies that you use in order to practice mindfulness right now?
Sure, Doctor. I'd be happy to. Thanks for asking. Let's take a step back. Dr. Conolly just mentioned a moment ago how the amygdala tends to hijack the brain when we're under stress. And your endocrine system will start shooting cortisol into your system, and that really creates this hypervigilance, high stress mode. You start to shake, and you're not objective. And the whole point of mindfulness is to take you in the opposite direction. And so the fastest way to do this, there are many ways. We do this through exercises, through breathing, and through affirmations. But we can only focus today on this one thing. I'm going to teach you one simple breathing technique that literally causes the body to start secreting oxytocin, which is the opposite direction. It takes you out of fight or flight and puts you back into your learning brain, into your objective mind. And this is where we want to live. This is where we want our status quo to be. So in order to do that, all we got to do is take some deep breathing. And you're like, really? All I got to do is breathe? Well, we do that all the time. But the trick to this is taking in more oxygen than normal. You see, oxygen is our number one fuel for life. We need it desperately. We're 2 or 3 minutes without it, and we're pretty much goners. So when we get extra, our body begins to celebrate. Our body tells the brain, hey, I'm getting extra, I'm in good shape. Oxytocin starts to shoot, and all of a sudden we find ourselves calming. And it's very, very effective. Here's the way to do it. We always breathe in and out through the nose. If you can't handle that, then breathe in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. but never do both in and out through the mouth. This brings in more oxygen into your system and completely keeps us from having any sort of pass out or drama involved here. So as we breathe in, we take a long, deep breath and fill our stomach. I want you to imagine that your stomach is the bottom of a glass of water. As you pour a glass of water, the bottom fills first before it comes to the top. Most of us, when I say take a deep breath, you're going to do this. It doesn't work because your lungs aren't up here, your lungs are down here. So expand your stomach outward on purpose as you breathe in at first, and then raise your chest to get yourself a full breath. We also want to do this quite slowly. So imagine taking a 3 or 4 second inhale. It looks like this. You just hold it for a couple of seconds, let all that oxygen settle in your lungs, and then out again through the nose if you can. Nice and slow for another 4 seconds. Leave the oxygen out again for a couple of seconds before we do it over. So let's just take this a step back again. It was a 4 second inhale, a 2 second hold the breath, 4 second exhale, and then another 2 seconds to leave the breath out. That's 12-second breath. What's 12 divided by 60? That's about 5 breaths a minute, down from 20, which is our normal rate. When we slow down our rate of breathing, our heart slows down. When our heart slows down, our brain slows down. We start to find ourselves very calm very quickly. So there's a quick explanation of the physiology of it, but it's important that everyone understand they can do this while they're walking down the hall. They can do this while they're sitting over their computer, or when their child is acting up, or if you're a student, your parents are just a little too close and you don't have your space. It works for every situation, for every age. So I invite you all to do this with me. I also invite you to close your eyes as you do this, because what does our body do or thinks going on when we close our eyes? It thinks it's going to sleep. And again, this is another manipulation of the body to slow it down. So if you're able to close your eyes, just close them and take a deep inhale through the nose. Join me, everyone. We hold our breath just for a moment or two and let it settle, and then again out through the nose. And we leave the breath out for a moment. We do it again. Inhale, please. And exhale. Breath out. Inhale again. Full deep breaths. Hold it. Exhale. Slowly, let it out slowly. Breath out. Inhale again, nice and slow. And exhale. Now breathe normally, but keep your eyes closed and just feel the difference. Assess yourself very briefly. Notice the difference. Notice how your body feels. Notice how your brain is operating differently. Notice how clear you feel, focused you feel. And slowly open your eyes. Easy stuff. Doesn't take a brain surgeon to do. Anyone can do it. You can do this while driving. Don't close your eyes though, please. But by all means, this is a great way to really de-escalate yourself in a heartbeat. This is just one of hundreds of techniques that are available in the spectrum of mindfulness and meditative practices, but they are incredibly valuable and they're accessible to all.
Well, thank you. Because I know, like, I mean, I feel less stressed. Even my shoulders feel tingly from it. So thank you. Thank you for demonstrating that for us today. So for our families out there wondering, like, well, where can I get more of this? Because you just talked about some of those resources. So what resources are available to help our families practice mindfulness?
You know, as the coordinator, my job before was to go into classrooms, into school settings, and do trainings for students and professional development for teachers. But once all our new things going on now are happening, we turned very quickly and put all these resources into videos. So we have what's called the Mindful Moment series. It's a library of quick videos. They range from 5 to 20 minutes. And these videos they cover a range of different techniques and also for different age groups. And you're welcome to access those on the Be Well 365 page. You can just go to MCPS and go straight to Be Well 365, and there they will be. There's also even more resources available. At the bottom of all those videos, there's a link for added resources, just in case you'd like to take a deeper dive and take a peek-see at some other things that are out there locally, whether it be live classes or research studies or articles, or you name it. We have a multitude of resources available for you to check it out.
All right, so thank you, Jeff. I greatly appreciate you coming on today, helping us to de-stress a little bit and take, some of that stress and just cloudiness away by practicing that quick mindfulness moment breathing exercise. So, and again, I want to thank our viewers for joining us for Waymaking, and to send us additional questions and topics to discuss on the show, please visit the link on your screen, and please join us next time on MCPS Waymaking.